Well, hey guys, welcome to Unit 2. It's Erin Postal Take 2. And wow, I just did so much awesome that didn't get recorded. But let me just jump out and say, this is Unit 2 for those people that want to build a business. These are your core activities. And we have borrowed these from Fraser Brooks. He writes a great book. It's called I Dare You, if you want to learn more from Fraser. So check him out. Just to review, last week was the whoop. If you have not done your whoop, which is your wish and your outcome and your obstacles and your plan, if you haven't done your whoop yet, or you haven't walked through the new member checklist, please go back and do that. It's really important. It's the gas on the fire. If you don't have the burning desire, if you don't have the heart of your person, they're not going to take these activities. I can give you a list of 10 activities that I promise you, if you do these activities, you will grow your income. But if you don't have the whoop, the burning desire, it's just not going to happen. Laura Hallett, who's on here, our IsaBody grand champion from the UK, guys, she was married and still married to a Mr. Universe, Mr. Bodybuilder. Do you think she went to the gym? Not very often. Do you think she worked out? Not very often. It wasn't until she basically did a whoop. She basically got the burning desire, the wish, the why, the vision, and then she smashed it and crushed it, transformed her body, and became the UK grand champion. She had workouts at her fingertips, right? Laura, do you want to add to that, how important the mindset is?
Yeah, so Erin, that's right. You know, you can be given all the tools, you can be shown everything, but unless you're ready and you're willing to do it and it's your wish and it's your desire, then it doesn't mean anything. So until, you know, you work with your team, your upline to really dig deep to what that is and find that desire. You know, if Erin hadn't done that with me and then Daz and Erin together, you know, I wouldn't be here where I am now. So truly grateful.
Yes. So if you're sitting there, in Laura, and you're such a good example of this, and now we're doing it with business, right? And if you're sitting there right now as a leader going, my team doesn't do anything, I don't want to do anything, it's because you don't have your whoop. Your burning desire isn't there. Go back and do it. If it doesn't get you fired up, talk to me, talk to your leader, and get that done. That's super important. And do it with your customers. I got 3 new customers last week starting. They all will have a whoop call this week with me. I want to know their heart. I want to hear them. I want to see the tears. I want to know. Okay? And then once I've done the whoop with their product experience and they're opening their heart to me and I'm coaching them through it, the next natural step is you're going to get paid. Let me show you how to make some money. Okay? So make sure you're doing those. And then these are the 10 core activities that, again, unless you have your heart in this, it doesn't matter. Can you guys see this screen? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, cool. So these are the 10 core activities that will take you, I guarantee, if you do these, and it will take you 1 hour, maybe 2, but if you did 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, you would grow your business. And there's one of these that I will tell you is the secret sauce that Fraser told me himself. He said, Erin, this is the #1 activity for any business builder to explode their business. So I'm going to leave you hanging for a minute and I'll tell you which one that is, okay? The first one is a social media post. I don't know 100% the algorithms, and maybe Logan can share that with Instagram, but with Facebook, you want to be posting your social media in your customer group, right? Comment, like, and love on people, and you can do the toilet technique, which Fraser Brooks teaches when you're sitting on the toilet. You got 10 minutes, and God, I can't believe I just said that because I'm super anti-toilet phone. It's more of just like a suggestion, but there's lots of downtime. Love on people, comments. This is a social engagement, but at least 1 social media post a day. Robin Larson just said to me, somebody reached out of the blue to me today. That's because they know you're on social media. If they know that you're still doing this gig, they'll reach out to you. So for me, it's 1 social media, at least 1 Facebook every single day, and engaging in my customer group. Okay, I'm going to set a goal for the week. I'd like to do at least 7 social media posts. I want to do lifestyle. I want to do health and wellness. I want to do mindset, and I want to do some power posts. I want to do some recognition. I'm going to tally up what I do and then give a total on the Sunday night. And then it'll be really easy to go back and say, oh, geez, I'm really slacking here. Logan or Laura, what do you want to add about social media posts? Because I think it's important that people do something every day. Logan, go ahead.
Okay. I like to do stories on Instagram. They are quick. They're only there for 24 hours, but you can keep them on your page if you get a lot of engagement with them, like as a highlight on your feed. So when people go to click on your profile, you can have like a story for like a highlight for all transformations, all product testimonials, your life, your family, just different sections. So it's different than your feed, just quick glimpses. They don't have to be those picture perfect posts with a bunch of text through it, so people can just click through it easily and see of just
yeah. Like I think my daughter has one that says soccer, and then she has one that's rugby, and it's like highlights. So what's your Instagram, Logan?
What's my name? It's just Logan Sampson.
Oh, it is just Logan Sampson. Okay, so guys, go look at Logan's if you want some ideas on that. Rhonda, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I was just going to say the same with Facebook, like with your stories and stuff like that. Like, you know, people sometimes, like I find older people like the stories on Facebook more than Instagram. So, you know, if I'm targeting more Start members, then I'm going to put an Instagram story on. But typically the same Instagram story that I put on, the same Instagram story, sometimes I'll just flip over and do the exact same thing on Facebook because I know I'm getting two totally different audiences. So,
but that's because you have a business Instagram page. If you just have a normal profile, you can share from your Instagram story and it'll share to your Facebook story. So you don't have to do.
Oh, does it?
Oh. That's because you have a different page.
Oh, I haven't set up.
We won't go there, but it'll share automatically to Facebook.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, make sure you're doing your social media posts every single day. Laura, or your stories. I think stories is key. Did you want to add anything to that, or?
Yeah, stories. So Daz and I have been trialing our Facebook. So a lot of people, so we don't tend to get as many likes or hearts or emojis on our posts. But Daz did something the other day and he had, I think it was over 260 people had viewed his story.
Yeah.
Whereas if he did that on a post, probably 10% of that probably would have hit a like button.
Well, that's good to know. And Laura, you can see who saw your story. So Daz could go back to those 260 people and he could do one of these things that we're going to talk about.
You can also do, which Logan is probably better than knowing about this than me, but I've only just worked it out. You can do polls as well on your stories. So I think they've taken polls off Facebook, normal newsfeed, but you can still do polls on stories and people can still vote.
I love it. Really good stuff. So yeah, you can even go back and you can, here's number 2. You can add some of those strangers. If you look at your story and 260 people have watched your stories and they're strangers to you, you don't know them, add them as friends. So how many people a week do you want to add into your funnel? And this is what I've really focused on the last couple months. And this is why I got my 3 enrollments last week. I am looking mostly to build in my local community because I like to have people come to my house, as some of you know. And so, you know, this is suggestions of people you may know. I'm going to give you an example. There was a woman, a nice looking woman in her 40s, and it said someone you may know because we had mutual friends. So I clicked on her name. She looked like a decent human being, the kind of lady that I could see in my backyard having a healthy margarita with us. So I messaged her and said, hey, how are you? Are you in Comox? And I said, see, we have lots of mutual friends. And she said, no, I live in Cumberland. And I said, oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. We became friends. Guess who messaged me last week and said, I need to lose some weight. I have no idea what you do, but I think you can help me. It was that woman that I messaged in April, March, whenever that was. So adding strangers, 5 to 10 recommended a day. 10 might be a lot. I'm not going to lie. I've never done 10. My God, set a goal. 2 a day would be amazing. If you added 2 people a day at the end of the week, that'd be 14 people. At the end of the month, that's 30, 65 people. The reason this business is easier in the beginning is because you got a big warm market. Well, you got to build another warm market, and we got to take a stranger and we've got to turn them into a friend, and then we have to turn them into family. And that's number 2. And this is the lorded, right? So I lorded her. What's your location? Oh, do you live in Comox? That's what the L is. No, oh, I live in the next town. I said, okay, cool. Nice to meet you, right? I could have asked her, oh, are you a yoga teacher? If I saw that she was into yoga, is occupation. If she was a paddleboarder, recreation. Oh, are you into paddleboarding? Me too, right? What does D stand for, Laura? I always forget that one.
Dreams.
Oh, yeah. Okay, do you want to add something to that? Because I don't really ask that one. Do you know?
So Fraser says this is always a tricky one, and it's always best to gauge whether you should introduce this question or not, because some people could be freaked out with this. Like, you've already asked them location, you've already asked occupation, recreation, and then you go into dreams. It could seem a bit creepy. So he recommended that you ask that after a period of time where you've been connecting and building that rapport, but basically that is what it is. So then you could link that back through to the womb, so you can understand and find out what people's dreams are, and then maybe find that point of pain that you could either help them from a health point of view or a financial goal or whatever it be. But
yeah. And so we used to use something called form, which you ask about family, but he said as a guy, it's like kind of weird to be like, hey, Allison, nice to meet you. So you have a couple kids? It's like, okay, why is this weird dude asking me about my kids? It just seems kind of awkward. Location is super easy. It's like, oh, do you live in my town? I see we have mutual friends. Right? You're just opening up the door to a conversation. Doesn't seem weird. Doesn't seem awkward. Look on their Facebook. Yeah, you want to add something, Rhonda?
I was just going to say, the fun part is when you have a community of a team in your own community, and building or talking about your dreams with that team in your community over tea or cocktails or whatever in your living room. That seems to be a little easier than when you're talking on the phone and you hardly know somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you kind of hold each other accountable to those dreams over time. So
yeah, I did this recently. There was a story, there was a Maxim model search, and this girl came second, and there was an article in our local paper, and she was up for winning 10 grand. And she's like, so I just messaged her because I read the article. I said, hey, congratulations, like you came second. That's amazing. And she wanted to win the money to help pay for her daughter's medical treatments. And I said, hey, I know you didn't win the 10 grand, but I have a way that you could make some like 10 grand. You're an influencer, you're a beautiful girl. Are you open to taking a look? And she was like, absolutely. Okay. So that's an example of kind of the dream, right? And that goes into number 4, I guess. Just curious, would you be open to learning how you can make $10,000? That woman from Cumberland, I did say to her after I said, hey, where are you from? I said, hey, if you ever have any health and wellness goals, please let me know. That's what I do for a living. And then she was like, okay, cool. So I took that as a green light to add her to my Facebook group, the Ageless Rebels. So that's kind of how that unfolded, right? Like I asked her location. I asked her, hey, I didn't say just curious, but hey, if you're open, if you have any health and wellness goals, I'd be open to adding, please let me know. It was a version of this. This is the magic question. This one here, just curious, would you be open to checking out some more information on XXX? No worries if not, just thought I would ask. That is the magic question. This is the indicator of how fast can you grow your business. If you want to know the most important thing on this page, it's this. Fraser says, the higher the number of this, the faster you're going to grow your business and your team, right? So how many people can you say like, hey, just curious, like you look like a total badass influencer. Just curious, would you be open to checking out some information on how to create residual income instead of just this one-shot deals, right? So this is the question. You guys want to add to this or ask questions about it? That's the magic question. What if you could ask that 5 times a day? What if you asked 10 people a day? Tanis Heron, who busted up the charts in Canada, asked 10 people a day. Ray Higdon, when he went broke and he was $1 million in debt and he had to rebuild from nothing, he asked 20 people a day for 6 months this question. 20 people a day, and he blew it up. This is the question. And honest to God, I think in 2019, it's actually not such a weird thing to ask someone, hey, would you be open to checking out a way to make a side income? So many people do it.
Erin?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was on a Millionaire in Training meeting yesterday with Susan Sly, and right before she started recording the meeting, we did a 3-minute run on sending out invitations, and that's exactly what I did, and got 3 appointments within like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Imagine if you did 20 a day for 6 months. Like, you would become an executive, a 1-star, a 2, like, and what if you taught your team to do this?
Exactly.
Like, this isn't just for you guys. What if you had 10 people in your team doing this? What if you had 2 people doing this? Right? That's when the magic happens. So how many people did you get to review? A tool is the next one, an isamovie.com, an event, a presentation. So did you have anyone looking at Isamovie this week? Did you have anyone going to a presentation? Right? If it's a 0, it's okay, but it's like, holy smokers, right? This, like, set a goal for that. How many people a day do you want? If you're not inviting, you're not going to have very many. If no one's looking, it's because you haven't asked this question enough times. Okay? And by the way, I ask this all the time and I get like rejected, right? Like, how many people have said no? I get lots of no's, and we'll put radio silence as no's. So if you want to send a tool to someone, you send them to Isamovie, you put them in your Facebook group, you invite them to a presentation. And then the next one is how many follow-ups. And I would put in here your customer calls too. Okay, you have somebody cleansing. Have you followed up with them? Did you do a whoop with them? Did you, who do you need to follow up with? Okay, these are fun and easy. These are fun. So set a goal, 5 a day, 2 a day, 10 a day, right? How many 3-way calls or 3-way messages? I love it when I'm doing 3-way calls. I love it when my team is saying, Erin, can you help me talk to this person, right? So 3-way calls, really, really important. Or 3-way messages. So, Rhonda, if your girls have people, put them in a 3-way message, right? And then you're in there and you can do voice memos. How many people have said no? If no one's saying no, you're not asking enough people, right? If no one's saying no. How many new customers have you brought in? Or how many new business builders? So that's important. If you're not getting any customers week after week after week, then you can show this to your leader or me and go, you know what, Erin, like, I'm doing 20 of these a day and I'm not bringing anyone in. It's like, okay, let's just go back and look at your sexy hair, Sarah, totally distracted by you. She has the best hair. You got to see it in real life. It's really saucy. I remember that from the olden days when we used to hang out. You want to bring in your customers and your business builders. Okay. And then I added this one, Laura, how many rank advances have you created? Because that's what we want to track, right? We want to use our leader in action form. If you're not advancing anyone, you're not going to grow your business. The secret to 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 cycles is having your team do what you're doing. You're building a team. You're the coach. You're going, you can't play soccer all by yourself. You can't play volleyball, Logan. I'm trying to imagine if you had to play volleyball all by yourself. You'd be running around. You could probably do it for a while, right? But you would get tired. And it would be ugly volleyball and it wouldn't work very well. But if you have a team playing volleyball, you're gonna crush it. And that's what this business is. And I think sometimes we forget. It's like, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to grind it right to the end. Well, that doesn't really work. You're building 2 teams. Gather your team. pour love onto them, encourage them. Don't push them, but encourage them, right? And then at the end of your week, you're going to do a summary and you're going to say, what am I most proud of this week? And you know what? Maybe it was just that you did a Whoop call with a customer. Like maybe it's actually, I didn't really do anything this week. It's like, that's okay. But what if you had 2 or 3 of those weeks in a row? Then it's like, okay, yeah, here we go. So I just sort of like, I'm open to tweaking this. I'm open to changing things. I know that my lines are weird at the bottom. I'll try to fix that up. Or if any of you know how to make this look prettier, let me know. I would love it. But those are like the 10 core activities. Laura, what do you want to add to this? Because you're also doing this with me. And share your thoughts, and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah, so just I wanted to add that when I started doing this as well, it was a really good tool to track. So I know that we all say consistency is key, but sometimes we get overwhelmed or forget what steps to take or what to do next. So I have one of these each week. I put my date in it, and I simply just use a tally, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it looks a bit messy, but it's fine because then I can keep the tally of the week. And then, as Erin said, because Erin and I have been doing it together, and Marla and a couple of others, we then look back so we can see where we may not have had such a good success, or maybe not as many strangers that we've added, or there's always something to then look back and track it and then improve the week after week. And I found by doing that, it's given me some structure into my weeks and also something to follow. And I think having that has made me continue to be consistent. And I know when I speak to other people is sometimes they think, oh, what should I do? Whereas here there's really simple steps to follow. So I think it'd be a really good thing to share out amongst your team and your downline.
Yeah, that's really good. It's so important to track, and the weeks can just slip by. So I think I love the order of this too, because this is kind of the order. Like, you're not going to have much down here at the beginning, but so this is where you want to focus. You want to add lots of people. You want to lord lots of people. Maybe I'll type in there what lord means, the location, just to help. I'll type that in after.
The other thing which I found is really helpful is each week, Erin, myself, Marla, Hadass, a few of us, so we fill in our form and then we send it through on a WhatsApp group. So you could set a WhatsApp group for the ones that your runners or the ones that really want to do this, because what I found is it's quite good, because not that we're competitive, because obviously you're the same team, but you feel as if someone's keeping you accountable then, and then you're wanting to run. Whereas if you're doing it on your own, you'll just think, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, well, I've only added one stranger. And then if you only add one the following week, and then maybe none the following week, and then you just start slipping back again. Whereas if you're keeping each other and more of you accountable, I think that is something that I've benefited from as well, because I can faff. I don't know if faff is a word whether it's an English word or a Canadian word, well, but kind of faff is kind of all over the place and slightly disorganized. So whereas this, I think, no, I'm going to stay accountable. Erin's going to keep me accountable, and it's really worked.
Yeah, I love that. So just in case someone missed it with Laura's accent, the WhatsApp, WhatsApp app right there, that's okay. The WhatsApp, we have created a small group. We were using Marco Polo, but I found that kind of hard. What I like about the WhatsApp is you can upload documents and files, and we just take a picture. You don't have to always be on video. It's a really good voice memo. And you do phone calls, so you can do group texts. So if you want a really good group text for your team, for your leaders, you could create a WhatsApp group. So we've just been uploading our forms. And we're rocking with this, guys. I'm really seeing the impact in my business. So my goal is to help you guys with that too. So who has any questions about this, about those activities?
Erin, I was just I'm wondering if you can add, like we have WhatsApp too, and if we decide that we're going to obviously do this, which we obviously are, could we, just for accountability wise, would it be okay to be added to that group too?
Yep, sure. Okay, look, yeah, I deleted that thing. That's not what I wanted. So I'm going to put it in here. Location, occupation, you betcha. So recreation, do you guys see this? And dreams. Did I type that all right? Yep. Awesome. I'm going to save this, and we are good. Yes, so we can add you to that group. And guys, if you want to make a group with your leaders, go for it. But it's really kind of fun, and we're able to ask Fraser any of these questions too. So we're also going to learn how to launch your new business builders. That's another thing that he's taught us, but let's just start with this. Who's committed to printing this off and giving it a go? What do you guys think? How much time do you think a week it would take you to do this, or a day? Not long. Not long. I don't know about you, but like what Laura said, sometimes I would sit down and say, well, what can I do in my business? I know I want to rank advance people. I know I want to grow. I know I want to get my free vitamins. I don't really know what to do. Well, start here and work through it. And my suggestion is you start on a Monday. You know, better yet, Sunday, set your goal for the week of what you're going to do, right? Have it ready to go, put it in a binder, and then rock it out. Sound good? Awesome. Okay, so any more questions? Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording. So Unit 2 next week is Unit 3, and you're going to learn our next step in business. So your homework this week is to finish your Whoop calls, reach out to your people to the new member checklist, the Whoops, and print this off, and we'll start rocking and rolling with this, okay?